Hello everyone. Here we are going to discuss about n-factor in redox reactions. In my last video, I explained calculation of n-factor in redox reactions. In that where the reactant undergoes either reduction or oxidation, but only one atom of the reactant undergo change in oxidation state. So in this class, I am going to explain the remaining conditions where more than one atom undergo change in oxidation state. Again in this, when more than one atom undergo change in oxidation state, there are again the cases are there. In the first case is when both the atoms may undergo either oxidation or reduction, and sometimes in second case, out of both the atoms, one atom may undergo oxidation and other atom may undergo reduction. Again, in such cases, how to calculate this n factor. First, we will see case 1. First, the condition when more than one atom undergo change in oxidation state. Again, in that both atoms either undergoing oxidation or undergoing reduction. So, in such cases, the resultant n factor, you have to take n factor is equals to n1 plus n2. So where n1 means the change in oxidation state of first element, and the second one change in oxidation state of second element. It may be anything, it may be oxidized or reduced. That is the sum of the n factors of two elements will give total n factor for that molecule. Let us take example. Ferrous oxalate generally undergoes oxidation and it will form iron 3 plus and carbon dioxide. See here, iron present in plus 2 oxidation state, carbon present in plus 3 oxidation state. Now it is iron changing from plus 2 to plus 3 and carbon is changing from plus 3 to plus 4. Now both elements, iron and carbon, both are oxidizing. They are increasing their oxidation state. Then what is the change here for iron? Plus 2 to plus 3. Change in oxidation state is 1. So n factor for iron is equals to 1. Similarly for carbon, plus 3 to plus 4. What is the change? Again 1. But here 2 carbon atoms are there. So total change is 2 into 1. So n factor is equals to 2. Now the total n factor is equals to n1 plus n2. That is 1 plus 2 is 3. Then why we have to add in this case? Sometimes the question may arise. Why we have to add? So we have another definition for n factor, that is total number of electron transfer or total number of electron gain or total number of electron loss by one molecule is the n factor. Now see in this case, ferrous oxalate, iron plus 2 to plus 3 means increasing in oxidation state, means it loses one electron by loss of one electron. So for iron plus 2 to plus 3, it loses one electron. Similarly oxalate changing from carbon, this is plus 3 to plus 4. Plus 3 to plus 4 means here oxidation state increasing, again it loses 2 electrons. Why? Because 2 carbon atoms are there. For 2 carbon atoms it requires total 2 electrons. Now the total electron lost by this molecule, how many electrons it loses? 3 electrons per one molecule. So that is giving iron 3 plus and carbon dioxide. So the number of electron lost by one molecule is 3. So you can take n factor is 3. So it is either total number of electron loss or total number of electrons gained by one molecule. Or if you calculate calculate in terms of n factor of individual elements. If either both oxidized or reduced, the total n factor is sum of the individual n factors. So like this we can calculate n factor of a reactant when one or more element undergo change in oxidation state. Again in that both element either oxidized or reduced. So in this example both elements are undergoing oxidation. So this is example for both are undergoing oxidation. Let us take one more example where both elements undergo reduction. Let me take this ferric sulfate will give iron 2 plus sulfur dioxide. Let us assume here. Again iron, the oxidation state is +3, for the sulfur +6. Here iron +2, sulfur +4. Now see, iron changing from +3 to +2. Decreasing in oxidation state means reduction. What is the change in oxidation state? +3 to +2, one change, but there are two iron atoms are there. So total n factor for iron 2 into 1 is 2. For sulfur, oxidation state changing from +6 to +4. What is the change? 2, but there are 3 sulfur atoms are there in one molecule. So total change N2 is equals to 3 into 2, 6. Now the resultant n factor from the formula N1 plus N2 means 3 plus 2 plus 6 is equals to 8. This is a n factor for ferric sulfate. Again why here summation? Again if you see here, what happens? Iron 3 plus is changing to iron 2 plus, decreasing in oxidation state, reduction. In this case generally gaining of electron. So we have to add one electron. And for this second one, sulfate SO4 2 minus 2, it is changing to SO2. But there are total 3 sulfates are there. Then each sulfur requires 2 electrons. For 3 sulfurs requires, the two irons are there. 2 electrons. Here 3 sulfurs are there. We require total 6 electrons. Now total number of electrons required per molecule. How many? 6 plus 2, 8 electrons. Means here to convert ferric sulfate to ferrous and sulfur dioxide, and this ferric sulfate molecule gains 8 electrons. So total number of electrons gained by this molecule is 8. So that is its n factor. We can calculate in terms of number of electrons or in terms of change in oxidation state. That will give n factor 8 for this molecule. Here again 2 elements are undergoing reduction. The previous example, the both elements are undergoing oxidation, and here both elements are undergoing reduction. So whatever the way, either they undergo oxidation or reduction, the total n factor is sum of the n factors of all elements. If more than 2 elements, you can take all elements. So we'll take some more examples here. Now see all these examples. FeS22, Fe2O3 and SO2. Here sulfur oxidation state +2 and iron oxidation state +2 and sulfur oxidation state here -1. It is the sulfide. Generally in case of sulfides, sulfur oxidation state is -1. Then again according to crisscross, here +2 and this is -1. Here Fe2O3, iron oxidation state +3 and here sulfur oxidation state +4. Now check iron +2 to +3. What is the change? 1. There are 1 iron atom is there, so N1 is equals to 1. Similarly sulfur -1 to +4, change is 5, but 2 sulfur atoms are there, so 2 into 5, 10. So here N1 equal to 1, N2 equal to 10. So resultant N factor for this molecule N1 plus N2, that is 11. And here second molecule again FeS22, Fe2O3 and sulfur trioxide. Previous case sulfur dioxide, here sulfur trioxide. Again the same, iron +2 to -1 and this is +3 and sulfur +6. Same for iron N factor is 1, the same change +2 to +3, but sulfur N2 is equals to -1 to +6, so change is 7. Again 2 sulfurs are there, so 14. Now resultant N factor 1 plus 14 and that is 15. Now AS2S3, here arsenic +3 oxidation state, sulfur -2 oxidation state. They are changing to arsenic here +5 oxidation state, sulfur +6. Now +3 to +5, change is 2, but there are 2 arsenic are there, so resultant N factor 2 into 2 4 and 1 equal to 4. Like sulfide -2 to +6, change is 8, but there are 3 sulfurs are there, so N2 is equals to 3 into 8, 24. Now the resultant N factor N1 plus N2, 24 plus 4, that is 28. 28 N factor for AS2S. Similarly these molecules Cu2S changes to CuO and SO2. Here copper oxidation state +1, sulfur -2, copper +2 and here sulfur +4. For copper N1 is equals to +1 to +2, change is 1 but 2 coppers are there, so total 2. For sulfur -2 to +6, change is 6, so N2 equal to 6, only one sulfur is there. So overall N factor resultant N1 plus N2, that is 8. Now Cu3P changes to Cu2 plus N, phosphoric acid, again phosphorus, copper +1, phosphorus -3 oxidation state, copper 2 plus, here phosphorus oxidation state +5 in H3PO4, +1 to +3, change is 1, but 3 coppers are there in Cu3P, so N1 is equals to 3 into 1, 3. Similarly phosphorus -3 to +5, change is 8, anyhow only one phosphorus is there, N2 is equals to 8. Now the total N factor 3 plus 8, 11. Now ferric nitrate to iron oxide and ammonia, here iron +3 oxidation state, nitrogen +5 oxidation state, they are changing to iron here +1 oxidation state in Fe2O and ammonia -3 oxidation state. Iron, so here both are decreasing oxidation state, +3 to +1, 2, so N1 is equals to 2, +5 to -3, change is 8, but 3 nitrogens are there here, again 8 into 3, 24, So N2 is equals to 24. So resultant N factor 24 plus 2, 26. So like this we can calculate N factor when both the elements undergo either oxidation or reduction. So these are all examples. So which comes under when two elements changes. If more than two element changes, let us take that one example here. Let us take one complex like Fe CN6 4 minus. Here it will give iron 3 plus, carbonate 2 minus plus NO3 minus. Let us assume this complex is changing like this. What is the N factor for this complex? Again here iron oxidation state plus 2, carbon oxidation state again plus 2 in cyanide, and nitrogen oxidation state minus 3. Now iron plus 2, 2 plus 3, a plus 2, and a carbon oxidation state plus 4, sorry, carbonate plus 4 here, this is plus 5. Now check overall, iron plus 2, 2 plus 3, change is 1, so N factor N1 is equals to 1. Similarly carbon plus 2, 2 plus 6, change is 2, but how many carbons are there here? 6 carbons are there. So N2 is equals to 6 into 2, 12. Next nitrogen, it is changing from minus 3 to plus 5. What is the change? 8. But again how many nitrogens? 6 nitrogens are there. So N3 is equals to 8 into 6. That will give 48. Now overall N factor N1 plus N2 plus N3, 1 plus 12 plus 48, that will give 61. This is the N factor for that complex. So like this we can calculate N factor when more than one element both undergoes either oxidized or reduced. This is the case 1. Now we will see the case 2. So what is the case 2? So out of two elements, one element is oxidized and other is reduced. Let us take case 2. Here one element is oxidized and other is reduced. One element is oxidized and other reduced. Means one undergoes increasing in oxidation state and one undergoes decreasing in oxidation state. In that case, the resultant N factor is the difference of the N factors of both elements. That is N1 minus N2. Always we have to take the modulus value. Why? Because N factor is not negative, always it should be the positive. Again let us take some examples for this case. Let us take ammonium nitrate. Will give nitrous oxide plus water. Let us assume here ammonium nitrate, nitrogen oxidation state here it is minus 3 and the nitrogen oxidation state here it is plus 5, and in this case nitrogen oxidation state plus 1. Now nitrogen, the oxidation state one of the element, minus 3 to plus 1. So what is the change? Minus 3 to plus 1? 4. So here let us assume N1 is equals to 4. Another one, ini sign number. కొంచెం గ్యాప్ కట్ చేయాలి మధ్యలో.
ఇక్కడనా?
We'll see the examples for this. Ferric oxalate changing to iron 2 plus and carbon dioxide. Now here iron oxidation state as usual it is +3, oxalate carbon oxidation state and this is +3 and iron we have +2, here carbon is +4. Now see, iron +3 to +2. What happened here? The oxidation state is decreasing, means it undergoing a reduction. This is the example for reduction. And the second case, carbon +3 to +4, it is increasing in oxidation state. Increasing oxidation state means it is undergoing oxidation. So one undergoing reduction and one undergoing oxidation. Then what is the change? Now iron +3 to +2, but 2 iron atoms are there, so change. So let us assume n factor 1 is equals to 2. In this case carbon +3 to +4 and the change is 1. But how many carbons are there here? 6 carbon atoms are there per molecule. So here n factor is equals to 6. Now what is the resultant n factor? N factor is equals to modulus 2 minus 6, so that will give 4. So n factor for this molecule is 4. Again we may get the doubt, why we have to subtract in this case. We'll see example. What happened here? One iron 3 plus is changing to iron 2 plus. So here decreasing in oxidation state. Decreasing in oxidation state means it is a reduction process. Also we have to add electrons. How many electrons? There are 2 iron atoms are there. We have to add 2 electrons. And the second one, oxalate, it is changing from +3 to +4. There are total 6 carbons are there in 3 oxalates, so that is giving carbon dioxide. Again what is the change? +3 to +4, increasing in oxidation state 1. 1 means it loses 1 electron. Per carbon 1 electron, but 6 carbons are there, it loses 6 electrons. Now overall electron transfer for this molecule. Here for iron it gains 2 electrons. Carbon it loses 6 electrons. So 2 electrons it's gaining. In that 2 electrons again it losing 6 electrons. What is the overall change? Overall change is resultant. Loss of electrons is 4. If you take the resultant 6 and that is 2 minus 6 2, overall you will get 4 electron transfer. 6 electrons are losing and 2 electrons are gaining. Resultant is 4. Or else in terms of formula base, the resultant n factor is equal to n1 minus n2. For n1 this is 2, for n2 it is 6. So 2 minus 6 again 4. So why we have to take this formula means that is the concept. Based on that concept, the resultant number of electrons transfer per molecule is its n factor. Let us take one more example here. CuS is giving Cu plus SO3. Again see here, CuS giving CuSO3, copper plus 2 oxidation state, sulfur minus 2 oxidation state, copper elemental state is 0, sulfur here it is plus 6. Now copper plus 2 to 0, decreasing in oxidation state. Sulfur minus 2 to plus 6, increasing in oxidation state. One is decreasing and this is a reduction process, and here increasing oxidation state and this is the oxidation process. Again, in one molecule, one element undergoing reduction, another element undergoing oxidation. So now the change for reduction plus 2 to 0. So n factor is 2. Here minus 2 to plus 6. So n factor is equals to 8. So what is the difference? 2 to 8, 6. So resultant n factor is equals to 6. So this is the n factor for this molecule, where when one element is oxidized and other is reduced, and in that case both the change in oxidation states are different. If change in oxidation states are same, another condition. Again, this is a in case 2 first condition. Let us assume sometimes reduction reaction, oxidation reaction, and the change in oxidation state for reduction and change in oxidation state for oxidation may be same. So in that case we have to take the resultant n factor is either change in oxidation state or change in oxidation state for reducing species or change in oxidation state for the oxidizing species. Any one you can take. Resultant n factor is equal to n1, that also is equals to n2. So here in special case, if n1 is equals to n2, so both the case the change in oxidation state is the same, oxidizing species and reducing species, then the resultant n factor is equals to either you can take n1 or n2, and anyone we can take. So again we'll take some examples here. Ammonium nitrate is changing to nitrous oxide. Here ammonium nitrate case, nitrogen oxidation state for this ammonium -3. Here nitrate NO3 minus. Here this nitrogen oxidation state is +5. N2O nitrous oxide, the nitrogen oxidation state is +1. Now see this nitrogen -3 to +1. It is increasing the oxidation state. It is oxidation process. What is the change? -3 to +1, 4. N1 equal to 4. And here +5 to +1, decreasing in oxidation state. This is a reduction. Then n factor again 4, 1 to 5. Then what is the overall? So both the case decreasing in oxidation state or increasing in oxidation state, both are the same. If both are the same, in that case you have to take the resultant n factor is n factor of that molecule, that is 4 only. Either you can take oxidation species or reduction species, that will give its n factor. Means overall electron transfer here. Here one nitrogen giving 4 electron, the other nitrogen taking that 4 electrons. So what is the overall electron transfer? Only 4 electrons are transferring. One is taking and one is giving. So you have to take overall electron transfer per molecule, that is 4. It is not a addition, it is not a subtraction. It is only the actual n factor, whatever the electron change by per molecule. Let us take some more examples for this also, where oxidation, change in oxidation and change in reduction is the same. Sometimes same ammonium nitrate, ammonium nitrite, make you nitrogen, and take KClO3, will give KCl and O2 and ammonium dichromate, nitrogen, chromium oxide and water. Now see here examples again. Ammonium, this is -3, NO2 here +3, then nitrogen 0. The change again -3 to 0, +3 to 0. So overall one is decreasing in oxidation state, one increasing oxidation state, but both are the same. So resultant N factor. What is the change? -3 to 0, 0, 3, or +3 to 0, 3. So resultant N factor is equals to 3 for this ammonium nitrite. And KClO4, potassium chlorate. Here chlorine +7 oxidation state and oxygen -2 oxidation state. And here chlorine -1 oxidation state, oxygen 0. Now chlorine +7 to -1. What is the change overall? 8. Oxygen -2 to 0. Again this is sorry. Here it is KClO3. KClO3 is +5. +5 to -1. This is 6, not 8. And this is oxygen -2 to 0. So change 2, but there are 3 oxygens are there. 3 into 2 again 6. Decreasing in oxidation state is 6. Oxygen -2 to 0. Increasing oxidation state again 6. So both the case the change in oxidation state is the same. So resultant N factor for KClO3 is 6. Similarly ammonium dichromate. Here nitrogen -3 oxidation state and a chromium +6 oxidation state, and here nitrogen 0, chromium +. Nitrogen -3 to 0. Change is 3, but there are 2 nitrogens are there. Overall change is 6. And here chromium +6 to +3. Change is 3, but again 2 chromiums are there. Here also the change is same, 6. So resultant N factor for ammonium dichromate is 6. So this is the N factor calculations when both oxidizing species and reducing species undergoing same change in oxidation state, means same number of electrons gained or same number of electrons lost by the one molecule. So this is the second condition, calculation of N factor when more than one atom undergo change in oxidation state. Again same here, when more than one atom undergoes change in oxidation states, but only one element sometimes undergoes oxidation and the same element may undergoes a reduction. This is a kind of disproportionation reaction. So now we will see how to calculate N factor for disproportionation reactions. Disproportionation reactions. Case 3. So for disproportionation reactions case, the resultant N factor is N1 into N2 by N1 plus N2. So where N1 is N factor of oxidizing process and N2 is reduction. N2 is N factor of reduction process. Same element undergoes oxidation and reduction. So one is N1 and other is N2. Let us take again examples here. Phosphorus. generally in basic medium, it will give phosphine PH3 NH2 PO, sodium hydrogen phosphide. Here phosphorus oxidation state is 0. In the phosphine, phosphorus oxidation state -3. In this compound, phosphorus oxidation state is +1. Now the same phosphorus 0 to -3, decreasing in oxidation state. In the same phosphorus 0 to +1, increasing oxidation state. One is decreasing, one is increasing. Same element. So we can say it is an example for disproportionation reaction. Then what is the end factor for this P4? So our resultant end factor is equals to N1 into N2 by N1 plus N2. Then what is the N1? Here N1 0 to -3. What is the change 0 to -3? 3. But how many phosphorus are there again? So N1 is equals to 3 into 4. 4 phosphorus are there. So 3 into 4 means we will get 12. Similarly, the same phosphorus, it is changing from 0 to +1. What is the change 0 to +1? 1. Again, how many phosphorus are there? 4 phosphorus atoms. So N2 is equals to 4 into 1 will give 4. So now we have N1 and N2. So resultant end factor is equals to N1 into N2, that is 4 into 12 by N1 plus N2, 4 plus 12. So that will give overall end factor is equals to 3. So here P3 end factor is 3 when it undergoes disproportionation reaction. Similarly, let us take some other examples of disproportionation reactions. Okay, see other examples of disproportionation reactions here. First one, chlorine is giving Cl minus, ClO3 minus. The chlorine oxidation state here 0. This is -1, and here chlorine +5 oxidation state. Now changing 0 to -1, decreasing oxidation state, 0 to +5, increasing oxidation state. So now N1. So 0 to -1, so change is 1, but 2 chlorines are there, so overall change is 2, 2 into 1. Now N2. 0 to +5, change is 5, again 2 chlorines are there, 2 into 5, 2. So N1 is 2 and N2 is 10. Now overall end factor N1 into N2, 2 into 10 by N1 plus N2, 2 plus 10. So 20 by 12, that will give 10 by, or else you can take 5 by 3. This is the overall end factor for chlorine. Now hydrogen peroxide, here oxygen -1 oxidation state, here oxygen -2 in water, here it is 0. Now oxygen -1 to -2 decreasing, -1 to 0 increasing, decreasing oxidation state. Now N1 is equals to -1 to -2 1, but there are 2 oxygens are there, so overall 2 into 1 2, and N2 -1 to 0 increasing, again 2 oxygens are there, 2 into 1 2. Overall end factor 2 into 2 by 2 plus 2, that will give 1, end factor 1. Again you should keep in mind here, generally hydrogen peroxide end factor is 2 when it undergoes individually oxidation or individually reduction. Individual cases end factor for hydrogen peroxide is 2, but in disproportionation reaction the hydrogen peroxide end factor is 1. This also you should keep in mind. Next, H3PO3, here phosphorus oxidation state +5, +3, and here phosphorus phosphine -3, and here phosphorus +5. Now the change +3 to -3, So plus 3 to minus 3, decreasing oxidation state, how much decreasing? 6, N1 equal to 6. Next plus 3 to plus 5, increasing oxidation state, how much increasing? N2 equal to 2. Now again overall N factor 6 into 2 by 6 plus 2. So that will give 12 by 8. So that is overall 3 by 2 is the N factor for this H3PO3. So like this we can calculate N factor for disproportionation reactions. And the next we will see other type of reactions, then calculation of N factor. That is a kind of average N factor. The fourth case, average N factor. So what is this average N factor? In some cases the same reactant, say that one of the element undergoes change in oxidation state in different ways. Means what? Let us take example. I'll explain this with example. Here KMnO4, let us assume changing its oxidation state, one is to Mn2 plus and one is to Mn3 plus. There are two KMnO4 are there. So potassium permanganate, one of the manganese changing its oxidation state +2 and other manganese changing its oxidation state to +3. Then what is the N factor for this KMnO4? Here you cannot take neither +7 to +2 or nor +7 to +3. +7 to +2. How much it will give? 5 N factor. If you take +7 to +3, it will give 4 N factor. None of one we have to take. None of these. Then what is the actual N factor? We have to take average of these two N factors. So how to calculate this average? Now we have to check again overall electron transfer per molecule. As usual, N factor definition is total number of electron transfer per molecule. So here for MnO4, how many electrons are transferred? Let us take. Out of 2 KMnO4, 1 KMnO4 is giving Mn2 plus, oxidation state +7, and other one KMnO4 changing its oxidation state to Mn3 plus. Now see, in the first case, +7 to +2, how many electrons are required? So it loses, so +7 to +2, decreasing oxidation state, so it loses 5 electrons. And here +7 to +3, how many electrons it loses? It loses 4 electrons. Now overall, to convert KMnO4 to Mn2 plus Mn3 plus, how many electrons are losing? So total electrons lost by this molecule is 9 electrons. So here 2 KMnO4 losing 9 electrons. Then 1 KMnO4 can lose. So what is the total N factor? Is per molecule you have to take. Here 2 molecules are losing 9 electrons. Then 1 molecule can lose 9 by 2 electrons. That is 4.5 is the N factor for KMnO4. It is neither 5 or not 4. This is an average. We will take some more examples for this average N factor. Here KMnO4 minus is giving 2 Mn2 plus and Mn6 plus. So in this case average N factor. There is an N factor of permanganate ion. Here out of 3 manganetes, 2 are changing their oxidation state to +2 and 1 is changing its oxidation state to +6. Then what is the average N factor for this permanganate ion? Again now two manganate ions are converting to Mn2 plus. So now your manganese plus 7 oxidation state. Total number of electrons lost by these two molecules, here not one permanganate, overall two molecules are there. So per molecule again the change is 5 electrons. So two molecules loses 10 electrons. The other manganate MnO4 minus, it is changing into the Mn6 plus. When I change plus 7 to plus 6, again only one electron. Here it loses one electron. Now the overall electron loss by 3 MnO4 molecules. Overall electron loss is 11 electrons. 11 electrons lost by how many molecules? 2, 1. 3 molecules are loses total 11 electrons, and they will give 2 Mn2 plus and Mn6 plus. So resultant N factor per molecule how much? 3 molecules loses 11 electron, then 1 molecule loses 11 by 3. This is the N factor per permanganate in this case. Always N factor depends on the reaction conditions. Let me take one more example. Four KMnO4 is giving 3 Mn2 plus and 1 Mn3 plus. Again in this case, what is the average N factor? Or nothing but N factor of KMnO4. So out of 4 molecules, 3 are changing into the plus 2 and 1 is changing into plus 3. So 3 KMnO4 or giving 3 Mn2 plus. So to convert 3 KMnO4 to 3 Mn2 plus, how many electrons are required, means how many electrons transfer takes place. So again plus 7 to plus 2, 5 electrons per molecule. There are 3 molecules are there, so it requires 15 electrons. So here it loses 15 electrons. Similarly, another molecule KMnO4 converting into the Mn3 plus. For this KMnO4, how many electrons required? Again plus 7 to plus 3. So again the change is as usual 5 electrons. Sorry, 4 electrons. So for this 15 electrons, for this molecule required only 4 electrons. Now overall electrons, to convert total 4 molecules of KMnO4 to 3 in plus 2 oxidation state and 1 in plus 3 oxidation state, the overall molecule, all 4 molecules should loses 19 electrons. Then what is the N factor? Again per molecule, 4 molecules are losing 19 electrons, then 1 molecule can lose averagely 19 by 4. So this is the N factor for KMnO4 in this condition. This is average N factor. Generally we'll calculate based on the average calculations. So we can give the name as average N factor. Next, same, by using this average N factor concept, we can calculate the N factor of the reactant. Sometimes it undergoes partially oxidized or partially reduced. In some reactions case, the reactant, some of the part undergoes reduction or oxidation and the sum of the part remains as it is. It will not undergo any change. So in that cases, how to calculate the N factor? This is the last condition to calculate N factor. The last one is, the next case is when the reactant is partially oxidized or reduced. Then how to calculate its N factor? The reactant is partially oxidized or reduced. Let us take one example here. Potassium dichromate, when you treat with 14HCl, it will give KCl plus 2CrCl3 plus 3Cl2. So in this reaction, anyhow, as usual, potassium dichromate N factor is 6, no doubt at all. That already we have discussed. Now if you want to calculate N factor of HCl, generally we know that HCl is an acid. There the N factor is 1. If it exclusively acts as acid, in such cases N factor for HCl is 1. But in this case it is not 1. Why? Because it is undergoing a kind of the redox reaction. So in redox reactions case, the N factor changes. Now see here, chlorine -1 oxidation state, it is changing to, here it is -1, here it is -1, but in the molecule it is 0. See, the same HCl, chlorine Cl minus, some of the chlorine atoms, they are not changing their oxidation state, but some of the chlorine atoms, they are changing their oxidation state. So here -1 to 0, increasing oxidation state, means what? Out of 14 HCl's, only 6 chlorines are undergoing oxidation. That means partially undergoing oxidation, not complete. Out of 14, here 2, here 6, total 8 chlorides are as it is, they are not changing their oxidation state. Only 6 chlorines are changing their oxidation state. Again in this case, how to calculate the N factor? Again the same concept, average N factor. Now let us take, there are 14 HCl's are there, and in that 14 HCl, 2 and here 2 into 3, 6, total 8 are undergoing the change in oxidation state as -1, and these 3 are forming chlorine molecules. Now, so 8 Cl minus is changing to 8 Cl minus. In this case, the number of electrons gained or lost is 0. And next, the remaining 6 chloride ions is converting into 3Cl2. In this case, the number of electrons gained or lost -1 to 0. Means what? It is increasing oxidation state. It loses 6 electrons to convert -1 to 0. So now overall electron transfer for this HCl molecules. There are 14 HCl molecules are there, Cl minus, and to give 8Cl minus and 3Cl2. The overall electron transferred is 6 electrons. But N factor always per molecule, 14 molecules we require 6 electrons. Then per molecule we require 6 by 14. That is 3 by 7 is the N factor for HCl here. Now let us take one more example here, when the reactant undergoes partially oxidized or reduced. Again KMnO4, when you treat with HCl, it will give MnCl2, chlorine and KCl. Again anyhow KMnO4 as usual, its N factor is 5 in acidic medium. Now again our focus is on HCl. Out of 16 HCl molecules, here MnCl2 chlorine oxidation state -1, here chlorine oxidation state is 0, here chlorine -1. So out of 16 HCl's, 10 chlorines are changing their oxidation state, and the remaining 6 chlorines they are not changing their oxidation state. Again -1 to 0, increasing oxidation state. Again out of 16, 10 only changing, means again partially undergoing oxidation. Then what is the N factor of HCl here? Now see, there are total 16 HCl are there. In that here 2 to 4 and 2. 6 are converting into Cl minus, means there is no change as it is, and 5 are, this is the 5 molecules of chlorine, means 10 chlorines are converting into zero oxidation state. Now overall, so in that 6 HCl's are giving 6 Cl minus and 10 HCl are giving 5 Cl. What is the change or number of electrons involved in this transition? So here chlorine -1 to -1. So no electron gain or lose, again 0 electrons. And in this case -1 to 0. So 10 HCl molecules, they loses 10 electrons. Now again overall electrons transferred by HCl molecule. So there are 16 HCl giving 6 Cl minus 5 Cl2. So total electrons lost by that 16 HCl is 10. Then per HCl how many electrons? That is 10 by 16. So nothing but 5 by 8. This is the N factor for HCl in this case. So where HCl undergoes partially oxidized or reduced. So this is the all types of cases to calculate N factor for redox reactions. So almost all we have covered in this video.
Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.